Hey, welcome back, everybody. Anyone who has lost a pet knows how hard it can be on a family. There's an organization, though, here in the Twin Cities trying to change the way we think about pet loss.
Pets provides in-home euthanasia for terminally ill and elderly pets. They're Minnesota's first mobile end-of-life practice, and their vice president, Kristi Lehman, is here to talk to us a little bit more about it. It's nice to have you with us. Thank you. Losing a pet is hard. It is like one of the hardest things people can go through. Talk to us about how the company came to be. I would imagine there was a group of people or maybe someone who was like, this is hard. We need to find an easier way, a better way.
Yeah, so about 12 years ago, our founder, Dr. Rebecca McComas, had to say goodbye to her own beagles, and she was able to say goodbye at home, being a veterinarian herself. And it prompted her to start this practice here in the Twin Cities. And we've been serving Minnesota families in the Twin Cities for about 12 years and Duluth families for now 3 years. And over the years, our team has grown. We have a fully trained staff with many different disciplines. I myself am a licensed social worker, so that's my background. And we have vet techs and a whole team of veterinarians to help with that process.
Grieving is an important part of this process. What are some obstacles, though, and difficulties for folks going through it?
Yeah, so we think of pet loss as a form of disenfranchised grief, which means that it's not typically seen the same in society as it would for the loss of a human family member, even though for many people it feels just as profoundly difficult. So we try to create a space where people can talk about that freely and feel seen and heard and validated in their decision. And so we provide support from the decision-making process all the way till after the goodbye, and we provide resources for that as well.
Talk to me about kind of the process, right? Because I mean, we've had to put dogs down in the past. It's hard, and I think you want to wait till the end. You want your pet to give you some sort of clue that maybe, I mean, if you've ever done it, putting an animal down and making that decision is excruciating. And I know that it was hard when we did it in a vet's office. I'm kind of curious about the in-home and kind of what you guys bring and what you hear from people that have used pets.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And really, no matter what, it's a heartbreaking process. Our goal is to make it just a little bit easier and bring a little bit more meaning and privacy and intimacy to the experience. But no matter what, there's no way around that. It's a difficult experience to go through as a family. We try to help people through the decision-making process. So we talk to people about when the time might be right, the kinds of things to look for in their pet, changes in quality of life. And then when it's time to say goodbye, we send a doctor to the home. And that way the pet, doesn't have to take that last car ride. A lot of pets don't like, going to the vet. They kind of sense that you pulled into the parking lot and start getting nervous. So we help pets avoid that stress. And that way families can also stay home. Pets can be in their own bed. The smells are familiar. The people are familiar. And families have a little bit more privacy. So we help a lot of families who are there with, friends and family saying goodbye. Children can be there. The other pets can be there to say goodbye as well. So we try to make it a more, open, but at the same time intimate, private experience for the family.
Somewhat of a celebration of their life.
Exactly.
In the place they love the most.
Mm-hmm.
What about, of course, family members know how important these, furry friends are, family members. What about friends? Those who know someone who went through this, how can they help once, once your part in this is over? How can friends help?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you've asked that because it's disenfranchised. We really want people to feel like they have people to turn to, and being a friend or a family member to talk to someone is really an important role to play. We recommend, acknowledging and validating the experience because so many people feel disenfranchised in their grief, meaning they feel alone, they feel like maybe something is wrong with them for feeling as sad as they do. It's abnormal. So being a friend who can say what you're going through is so natural, or I have felt similar, when I lost my pets, this hurts because it matters. That's really important as a friend. And, I often tell people, think about what you would do if someone lost a friend or a human family member. We bring a hot dish, we send flowers, we, post a tribute on social media. Those are all really important things to do when we have a friend who's lost a pet too.
When you guys go into somebody's house, I'm a visual person, so I'm trying to see what that would be like. Is this a process that is 30 minutes? Are you guys with these families for an hour?
Yeah, usually it does vary between 30 minutes to an hour. Our doctors try to give families as much time as they need, and we really try to slow down that process. We do give pets a sedative medication, which is sometimes different than a clinic experience. A lot of clinics do that now too, but it helps the pet fall asleep, it helps them feel really comfortable, and it just kind of slows down time for the family so that they can, they read poems, they have children who, give the pet a drawing that they made, they play music, they may have a religious ritual that they do. So we try to build in time for all of those special things that a family may want to do.
Very nice. Megan.
Teary-eyed.
I know,
Right
me
now,
too.
thinking about this.
It's okay. You brought it up earlier. Folks may be at this stage or they're getting close. Probably a good idea to reach out just so they know what to expect.
Yeah, it often feels like there's just never enough time. We never have enough time with our pets. We never have enough time, to plan. But any time we do have, we view as a gift. It's really an opportunity. Some people don't have that time. So when we do, we encourage people to plan ahead, think about, what their family may need, what kind of goodbye their pet may want to have, and even things like a bucket list, things their pet might want to do in their final weeks, ice cream or steak or one last road trip, those sort of things. And so that's why, it really is a celebration of life, and we try to encourage that. And we encourage families to have a backup plan too, and, understanding the options. Going to a vet is a valid option, staying home is a valid option. The timing, it can be really tricky, so we try to build in some conversation for families to talk together about what those changes look like.
They're
Kristi,
family
thank
members
you.
for
Yes,
sure.
they are.
And it's never easy to lose a family member.
Exactly.
So thank you, and options are helpful. Kristi, we appreciate it. If you'd like to learn more about MN Pets, we have their information posted on our website at minnesotalive.com.